step close to sealing a semi-final spot. It's still not quite confirmed given how things stand, but what is confirmed is that the West Indies World Cup semi-final hopes are now over. They join South Africa and Afghanistan as the third team to officially be eliminated in terms of not being able to make it for the semi-finals. That after Virat Kohli won the toss, batted first, put some runs himself and saw MS Dhoni and Hardik Pandya ensure that India didn't fall significantly short of a competitive score in the end. That 268 with the bowling attack and the sort of form that Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah and the two wrist spinners are in was just far too good. Shami with a career best 4 for 16 to follow his hat-trick against Afghanistan, and that once again keeps the discussion firmly in the positive for India, and there is going to be a critical post-mortem or an evaluation of the West Indies, which we'll do on ESPN Cricket Info Matchday UK 2019 with Darren Ganga in just a bit, Alexis Nunes outside Manchester, but first Michael Hussey and Murli Karthik in studio. Very impressive that, Karthik.
Absolutely bossed the game.
Yeah.
Literally, for a while I thought that could this be a touch and go thing, because West Indies have some power in their ranks, and 268 possibly if the wicket suddenly starts playing better. But from the word go, Shami was outstanding, Bumrah as always, and then the spinners flexing their muscles as well. Brilliant show, like literally what, 123 run victory, and if KL Rahul hadn't dropped it and if they hadn't tried to buy the wicket, it would have possibly been 145 run victory. So literally dominated this game.
There are certain areas I'm sure that even Virat Kohli in his post-match comments has pointed out that they need to improve on. But this now is looking like the most threatening, potent, all-round bowling unit of the tournament, Mike Hussey.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in the mid-inning show that it's got so much balance. You've got two outstanding seam bowlers, so if there's something in the pitch for the seam bowlers, they'll find it. That ball to get rid of Shai Hope from Shami, that's one of the balls of the tournament for me. That's absolutely unplayable. Seam back a long way. And then obviously two outstanding wrist spinners as well. So they've got both bases covered. They look a well-rounded team, a confident team. And yeah, they're going to be extremely hard to beat in this tournament going around.
I mean, it's showing signs of a seriously good team in terms of depth as well. You have Bhuvneshwar Kumar ruled out, who was firstly keeping Mohammad Shami out of the team in the first place. Shami comes in and does this. You've had Shikhar Dhawan, such a big player, missing. They had to do with the Vijay Shankar to bowl in a big game against Pakistan. He delivered. It just seems to be coming together for India.
Yeah, and brilliantly. And you look at the kind of players who are sitting out as well. You've got the likes of Ravindra Jadeja, Dinesh Karthik, who's so good. Obviously, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and now Rishabh Pant has been drafted in. So serious strength there as well. Ravindra Jadeja, you know how good he can be when he plays, or he kept one of the wrist spinners out before the World Cup. Yeah, good to see them. It's just that, as Hussey mentioned the other day, you want to peak at the right time. India is playing real good cricket. Yes, they've had, possibly by Virat standards, not the best of batting days against Afghanistan and West Indies. But he himself mentioned that no, they're not going to be 300 plus games anyway. So if you try and find a way to scramble to the above par score, then I definitely feel that this bowling unit is good enough to restrict opposition or chase down.
Just on Shami's performance, it's going to be very hard for Bhuvaneshwar to get back into the team now. He got a hat-trick in his first game. He's picked up 4 for 16, I think it was today.
Yeah.
He's bowling magnificently. I can't see them making the change back to Bhuvaneshwar at this stage.
Okay.
He can work on his hammies.
Sign of a good team, as simple as that. On the other hand, it's going to be quite a critical analysis of the West Indies, whose campaign started with so much promise, beating New Zealand in a warm-up game, then blowing Pakistan away in their first game of the tournament, and it's all just gone horribly wrong since. Darren Ganga, this time that some questions must be asked of the West Indies now. Where would you start?
I think it's a lot of learnings that the West Indies will take away from this World Cup campaign. One, I think maybe too many T20 players in this West Indian squad for this 50-over World Cup, and not being able to adapt and adjust their game to suit what the requirements are for this format of the game. Some are already starting to talk about players who have been predominantly channeled into playing Test cricket alone, and they making that transition from Test cricket into 50-over cricket. You look at a guy like Roston Chase, who's got 5 Test match centuries and who shows really good application and batting skills. You know, might be able to make an impact in the ODI cricket as well. But definitely the application lacking, the ability to lay a foundation to innings and expand and bat to a situation in challenging sort of conditions as well. That application just lacking. You know, so you question the skills of the players. And the second thing will be the information being shared to players. You look at the approach by Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni. They both got half centuries for India, and more than 50% of their runs coming in twos, threes, and singles. So that should inform an approach which should be communicated to a team in terms of how they go about chasing a target score of 269. We've not seen that. Many of the West Indian players looking for the power shots and not really understanding that there might be a little bit of adjustment required for them to get over the line. So that adaptability, we've seen it with the bowling, too short, and then after a long time, this West Indian team having to adjust to find the right line and lengths, and that is what they did well today. But again, in the batting, they're too one-dimensional in terms of looking for their power shots, and especially against good bowlers, you can't do that consistently well all the time. You will create opportunities, and this India side, they're a very good bowling unit, and they proved exactly that.
How much of this is also down to this being a team, Darren, which has always sort of been chopped and changed in the build-up to the World Cup? Chris Gayle picks and chooses the cricket he wants to play. They tried to put Andre Russell in. Did it feel at some point that they were hoping on too many things working together in spite of the same set of players not playing regularly in the 4 years in between two World Cups?
It's always a challenge, and I think the challenge of players being available when they're third-party T20 competitions, that's one challenge, not only for the West Indies, for many test-playing nations, having their players available for their national setup. That has been an issue in the West Indian environment. I also think players sort of stereotyping and channeling their game towards the T20 format and playing majority of their cricketing year in that format and finding it very difficult to sort of play other formats of the game. That has been a huge challenge. The third thing I would want to say as well is you look at a guy like Nicholas Pooran, who was never on the radar for this West Indian ODI team. He came into the World Cup, if my memory serves me well, with only 2 ODI matches, and here it is. This guy has been entrusted with batting at number 4, batting at number 5, having to score centuries at the international level when he's never scored a century in list A cricket, nor first-class cricket. So that to me is setting up yourself for failure. And if you look overall of this West Indian side in one-day ODI cricket, you would see that the last time they won a series against any team would have been back in 2014. That is how inconsistent this team has been. There's always going to be question marks over Jason Holder as a leader as well, because at the end of the day, you rank a captain based on his ability to win titles, and this team has been very, very short of winning titles in 50-over cricket.
Okay, the mood will be slightly somber in West Indies cricket today, an exit from the World Cup which started with so much promise and optimism.